All right. We're back. Still working on this cat. I hope the stream's going. I'm just going to get started here. I might not talk as much this time, but we're going to be working on the skin today. We've done the rendering for the hand and the hair and all that. Today we're going to be trying to figure out the puzzle that is the skin, because it'll be kind of complicated, I think. Just a reminder that this is what we're working from. There's a lot of little nuances and subtle stuff here, and we're going to do it all manually. So I think it'll be good. Then we'll move on to this. And then we'll animate it. That's the plan here. Okay, so in figuring out this puzzle, there's a couple of obvious things that are jumping out at me. So let's start by looking at those. Oh yes, looks like I already tried to figure this out. The masking of these glows is going to be tricky. Tricky. What's that? Why is that there? Okay, whatever. Yeah, okay. Looks like I already looked through some of this. But I did this a little while ago, so I'm gonna refresh my own memory here. Okay, that's for the hair. Is this what we're looking at? Okay, so there's a bit of a gradation in some of these places, but the main focus is going to be on how to mask the glows here, and then also how to do this lighter spot here. You see this lighter part on the hand, and the face. That's really important for the overall look of it, to just brighten the hand and the face here. So we're gonna try to figure that out. So let's go back over here. And I'm just gonna, we gotta drop in a neutral color to work from here. So let's just grab you. Oh, excuse me. Huh. There we go. We're just going to fill in the rest of this. Okay, we got the goop. We got the skin. Okay, haven't done anything here. Except for dropped the colors in. Look at that. I'm ahead of myself. Okay. And now that I'm just looking at it, I'm going to do some other things here. Just kind of while we're here that I think will be... they're not going to change much visually, but it'll be important. So for those who were here last time, we did the hair, and I said that it would be better if I drew these outside the lines, because that's kind of how the the feathering and clipping that we've got going on here works. So I'm just gonna do that. And we can get back to it. So it's gonna look real silly. And we'll test this out before we go too far here. But I just want to do this right. Okay. So we'll go back in. It shouldn't look any different visually. I can even go beyond there for the green if I really wanted to, but I don't think that's necessary. I don't think are there any other spots. Oh, here, I guess I could make. God, this one would be a nightmare. I could make this bigger, and then the feathering would go all the way down here instead of just kind of feathering off like here. I'm not going to do that now because that would require basically doing this. And I want to figure out the skin rendering first so I can figure out how to do this crazy like Sudoku puzzle of how everything connects. So let's go in and figure out the skin, how we did it here. Okay, I know this is a different color than this. Very, very slightly different color. And that's a really important thing here. So I'm actually going to go in and put that in. Yeah, very, very subtly different. That'll be for everything except for the hand. Okay. We might actually turn that into... Jeez. It's a bit tricky. I think what I might end up doing is exporting this as a PNG. And then importing it, but God, the extra bit there looks very silly. I'm aware of that. Something like that. Just very big. Let's make her smaller. Too small. Maybe we can just line it up with the corners. Nope. That looks good enough for me. Let the opacity way down. Okay, so we've got these hard parts here and the soft parts. Let's do the hard parts because they're very straightforward. I kind of just want to get those out of the way. So I'm gonna, I guess I'll take one of these colors. Take that one. No, I'm gonna do something brighter. I made these fingers kind of weird shapes on this one. I don't think I would draw it like this if I redid it. That's okay. I'll leave off filling them in for a little while. Gotta get the chin here. This shape is actually quite important. Because without rendering, we kind of only have the planes, the defined planes to go off of. Okay. Then there's also these little guys here, which we will get to, I think. But not right now. That looks good for now. Looks good to me. Let's pop that off and let's start filling these guys in. How'd that happen? Gotta be very careful because we're working with solid pixels, of course. Oops, I guess that didn't really matter. Working with solid pixels, so it's a lot less forgiving when it comes to these very small gaps. We will fill those. Okay. It's hard to see all those small pixels sometimes. Okay, I'm not seeing any more for now. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna make it into this, right? But you see, the thing about this is it goes from this like nice pink to this really cool yellow, right? Is this yellow the same as this yellow? It better not be. I'm gonna test that. Okay. Okay, so let's take this and let's actually fill that in. Let's just draw it right on top, I think. So just kind of the tips and little chunks in there. It's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I should be able to remember that. I'm gonna drop the pure color in instead of the red here. Great. Awesome. So those are gonna feather out nicely. And then the next step is to do the the Sudoku puzzle. So we need to take this very nice warm glow. Can I find a warmer version? Yes. Warmer than that? Yep. Okay. So it's right about there. We're gonna take this color and we're gonna make it basically maskable. So that means the color is hold on. That means the color is here, but not here, right? We don't want it there. We just want it in there. And so we need it to only be within the area of this thumb here, right? Or more broadly, the hand, probably. We'll make this hand you know, a mask layer, and so anything inside will not go outside of it. So we'll do that, and then I don't think there's going to be any tricky parts here because it looks like all of the time it goes underneath this hard layer down here. And that's really nice because we can just include this hard layer when we make the soft layer and then feather the whole thing. And so it won't have this gap that we're running into with places like this. So I think that sounds pretty good. We just need to basically make the face and the hand its own mask color and then get going here. We'll deal with the rest of this later. Oh shoot. This is gonna go by different rules, isn't it? Okay, let's start with the hand on the face, because that's what I know currently. What's going on? So this is gonna go underneath here. And you know what? Let's do the actual color. I don't mind that this time. Usually I like to have these be easily keyable, but unless we run into some other stuff later on, I think it'll be okay to just do this. Okay, we're just gonna do the outline for now and fill it in later. And again, these big swatches, these big areas where I'm filling in right now, that's going to be the solid shape, and then we're going to feather it. We're going to Gaussian blur it out, so it's the soft shape, like how it looks. If you weren't here for the other day, I explained it a lot there. It's kind of a fun way that Animate does color compositing like this, where there's no transparency ever exported. There's no gradients or anything. That's all added on later. And I don't have to be super precise with this because this is an airbrush, or this will be turned into something soft. So I can just put all this in like that for now. We'll add this over here. This one I'm a little bit worried about. Just because it's... if I'm remembering correctly, it has some differences in intensity. Yeah, so over here it's really intense, right? And over here it's nice and soft. So I hope I'm doing that right here. Up the past me calculated this right with the red lines that I'm working off of now. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Cool. Let's take that off and let's fill this in while we're thinking about it. Okay, so that's all pretty straightforward, and you can see kind of where we're going with this. So if we Gaussian blur these lighter spots, it should look pretty close to this. Wait, why doesn't it? Why does it look totally different? Why is that color totally wrong? That's totally the wrong color. What? What happened? think I pulled from over here, didn't I? Yeah. Let's see if this makes any difference. You know, I think it does, actually. What happened? How did I pull this thing totally wrong? Okay, whatever. We'll go with that. I like that better. Oh, and I was going to check. Is this the same as this? Okay, good. Of course not. Very, very close, but not the same. It's super important with Color King. Okay, and we already talked about how the... Sorry, I'm just trying to think here. Talked about how the hand and the face have to be keyed out colors. So let's add that now while we're thinking of it. And I've used most of the main ones here. I hope I don't randomly pick the same one by accident. Definitely haven't used that. I'm not quite sure where my line art went. Oh, only apply to connected pixels. Perfect. So that'll be that. And then for this, I like this color. I don't think I've used it yet. Okay, and that looks horrifying, and I could fill in these, but I don't need to, so I'm not going to. Basically, we just need this to feather. Of course, that doesn't work. We need this to feather out into there and not go into there at all. So that's what we should do. Okay, this looks horrifying as usual, but let's keep going. With these, very, very important. This nice color has to basically become a part of this. We do that, and then we feather this whole thing, and then this lighter part is on top of it. And again, this is all pretty abstract without seeing it in person, so we'll go back and do it. But for now, this is what it's gonna look like. So we have to do this crossword puzzle that I keep talking about, where this color is different from this color and different from this color, and so I can key them both separately. Let's do it. I'm gonna slap that back on. Gotta grab a new color we haven't used yet. That looks good. This whole thing is actually gonna be that. This one doesn't have to be super precise, but this part is really important. We can't have this be this color at all because we don't want it to bleed into there. We just want it to go everywhere else. So do that and that. And I was missing some stuff on my first pass here. Okay, there we go. Man, what is going on? Okay. Go back up here, grab this. I'm just gonna make this whole thing that. Oh my goodness. What in the world? I even messed this up, what? Okay. Okay. Going a little bit crazy. Do it up here. And then I think I'm actually gonna cut that part off so it's not the whole thing. That's awkward. Okay. That should be good. Now we've got to go in and replace the yellow that will be changed, but that's pretty easy, I think. Let's turn it into this. Because there's no point where it crosses, so it's just that. Oh, wait, hold on. There's no places where it's the yellow and not surrounded by the green, so let's just leave it there. That will be the color it will be. Okay. So again, if these like color things aren't making sense, we'll get to it. We'll get back to it. Okay. Do I need to key any of this color out? Did that go through? Okay. And the reason I'm asking is because... Oh, wait, whoops. Okay. Right. So these last two. Okay. I think I have to make these all different colors. I think I have to make the hand ones different from the face one, which is different from the arm ones, because I want to be able to isolate them all. When I color key this color right now, it'll select everything. And so I think I've got to make these ever so slightly different. And when I say ever so slightly, I of course mean, yeah, completely different. We'll leave that one because we don't need to change it. And then we'll go back down here. We'll add... Sure. We'll add that. So that should be pretty straightforward, and so should this. And when I say that, I of course mean it won't be, because we have to key out this part. Bam. And actually this needs to be a different color too, so let's change that. Great, the Sudoku puzzle continues. And this needs to be a different color too. Okay. Doing a lot of greens today. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to work down here. Have I used that color? I've used a lot of all of these, honestly. Let's keep the blues. Nope, not that though. Excuse me. Okay, we want this to be able to feather out into those. Do I need to change this too? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to take the chances on that. Let's make this like so. Okay. This looks amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm such a good artist. My mom would be so proud. So, in review, you know, that's gonna change too. Although it probably doesn't matter. Okay. To recap, we need to mask and feather all of these in different ways. And so that's that's what all these colors are for. And something like this needs to be able to be turned into this color and feathered, and also stay as this color and not feathered and go on a separate layer. So that's why this looks like a sparkle dog right now. Okay, we have one more step. You know what? Okay, the next step will be to do the rest of the skin, right? Because it has this stupid, slight, subtle gradation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And also we have to do that. So we've got some more stuff to do here. But I think let's just figure out the glows. And then we'll go do the shadows. Okay. Let's do it. And we'll also make sure that the rest of it doesn't look any different from the changes we had to the hair. So I'm going to export this as a Targa file. You won't be able to see it for a little minute. Because OBS doesn't work like that. I have made an error. Yeah, I have actually made an error. These up here should not be what they are. They should be something else. They should like literally just be any other color. I'll do this one. That is an awful color. Let's do that. Slightly better. Okay. Looks like she has something growing out of her head, but that's fine. We're gonna get rid of it in like 30 seconds. So let's re-export this. I'm gonna do it as the same one because it's very, very little updated. Okay, let's pippity pop on up over into After Effects, and I can do that. Like so. Okay, so let's go in here to recap. We take wait, there should be more of this here, shouldn't there? Yes. Yeah, okay. So we take this and we turn it into this, and we're doing the skin right now. It's a puzzle because we have to, let me just adjust my mic real quick. We have to feather these, and you can see that there's really subtle feathering here, and a lot more obvious feathering here, but this brown part here started out as this, right? So you take the green here, you add it to this blue and this pink and this kind of brown, and then you feather it, and then you put it underneath what was already there. So kind of through this whole process, like let's go to the finger. Yeah. So just as kind of a piece of clarity here, because there's a lot that goes on. We take these, and then we can fill them and feather them. And if we didn't do it like this, if we just took the green, for example, it would only feather the green shape. Just this part would be feathered, and so there would be these huge, like this kind of part down here where it was mostly transparent, and that doesn't look great. That's not what we're going for. So we need to make these other colors be a part of it so we can transform all of it into that. So we're just going to do that now for the skin here. See we did it for the hair. And actually, I'm gonna keep doing it for the hair because we still have to figure that out. So the reason I did this was because you can see it's easier to see here. This doesn't feather to the edge, right? And that's because if we go to hair glow 1, the shape we started on is this, right? And so even though the reference shows to feather the whole thing up to the edge, you know, oops, the whole thing up to the edge, we can't do that because this is the shape we've got. And so if we want to make it feather out into the edge, basically we need to extend the shape that we feather it, so that when we do a matte, it goes beyond it. And that's what we're gonna do now. So let's go into the hair shadow. Perfect. So you see how this is light by the edge here, but this isn't? Like, this is a really nice strong line. That's because we started out, if I take the matte off, we started out like this. And so this whole thing feathers. We fill it and then we feather it. And so this whole thing feathers. And then we do this, we put the matte on it. We put this maybe? Sorry, it's been a minute since I... This one? Yeah. So that cuts it off. That cuts it off at this line, but beyond it is the green. And so I'm kind of explaining this poorly, but that's the idea. And so basically we have to add we have to add this into it, this yellow. I'm gonna need to remember these opacities. So let's add another color here. That looks good. That looks good. That's what we want. I'm gonna bring the opacity back down. And then what happens if we matte this again, huh? Ah! Beautiful. Okay. Just before we go any further here, I'm gonna go back into the main one and actually key this out. Because we don't want it. We don't want it at all. Great. So that's gone. That looks good. That looks great. So you can see that. It goes all the way up to the edge, at least it should. And it's still matted in the same way. It still has the same bounds, but the shape feathered beyond it is just bigger, so it covers more space. So that's what we're gonna do here. Where should we start? Oh, nope, sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, never mind. So there was that shape down here too that I changed, but the After Effects compositing logic was the same, so it just looks good. If you'll remember before, it had this glowing edge down there, but it doesn't anymore. Okay. Let's make this hand glow, huh? So to glow the hand, we need this color, we need this color, and we need this kind of yellowy color. So let's duplicate this. Go up here. Sorry, I'm just remembering. Yeah, okay. So we need to remake these 166. Shoot. These are all duplicates of the same one, but we just made changes to one and it didn't transmit to the other, which is why it still looks kind of not right now that I'm thinking about it. Blurriness. Hold on. Blurriness 75. Okay. So the opacity is at 100 for this, and blurriness is about there. Get rid of this. Blurriness is 64. Opacity is 66. Okay, that's good enough. I could rename it, but I'm not going to. It still says what it should, roughly. Okay, so that should look better, and it certainly looks closer to the reference I'm working from, so that's good. Okay, let's get into doing the skin. I'm gonna have the skin section on top of the hair, just because I don't think it'll matter. So we'll just do it up here. If you remember from last time, there's kind of a rhythm to this. So let's solo this. So we're only looking at here. And this is the raw drawing, so we've got to extract a bunch of stuff from this. First off, we got to extract 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 colors for the hand. Turn this back on. Great. You know, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters that the face is still in here. But if it does, I'm gonna have to go back. Wait, hold on. No, not this one. Shoot. Oh, come on. Okay, so nope. The face has to be gone, so I've got to go back and change that. Okay, this is just 3, though. Okay, let's go back. I'm just going to do this without turning my camera back to it. Because I think it's... pretty straightforward. Just give me a sec. Okay. So we import this and that's gone. So all I did was make these 2 a different color so they aren't picked out when we color key like so. Okay, so we've got this. Let's put the others on. If that keeps going, I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, so we turn F max up to 2 there. Let's check what the other ones were. Set matte we don't need to do because this is all internal stuff. It's just fill in Gaussian blur. Okay. Fill it as this color. We blur it as this. Cool. Let's crank up the blur on this, huh? Okay, so that's good, kind of. But what we can see is these are all really soft edges, which is half good and half less good. Yeah, so you can see it goes kind of wherever it wants. So our next step is containing it within just this hand area here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. You know, I'm going to take one of these mats that already exist because they should be set up relatively well enough. Let's change this. Go in here. Okay, so all of these should be changed, but that's fine. We're just going to change them to the colors we had before. Actually, we're going to add one more. For the base color. Okay. So now, if we turn color keep back on, yes, this is the only place that the glow should be shown. Let's turn that on, and bam. So that's great. We've got the mask. This is the mask. We've got the glow. This is the glow. And the glow is not being shown anywhere that the mask isn't. And that is exactly what we wanted. There's a couple things like it really shouldn't be showing up here. But that is hardly a big enough problem to mask that singular finger out for this one frame. So we're gonna call that good and move on. We also want to hide the matte layers. I've been saying mask. They're matte layers. And then I'm gonna duplicate this and we'll just work from here. Why is this purple still showing up? Why is this purple still showing up? Oh, that would explain it. Okay, we don't need this type of mat anymore. We just need this. Okay, how did I do this? I don't even remember. Let's just do... So this will be the matte, we'll say. want... We want to turn these back to the colors they should be and blur them. I'm just gonna go back. I honestly don't remember how I did this over here. Okay, I knew that. Oh, this has to be the right color. Okay, let's go back up here. Don't need any of that. We do need replace. Pixel replace. We've got to turn this into that. Perfect. Okay, step 1 looks good. What's step 2? I think we just duplicate it and blur it a bunch of times. And just set those to be the right mats. Sure enough. Okay. Ugh, I don't like that this little bit is here. But I don't think it'll matter, because it'll be... it'll all be... Alright, let's do pink. It'll all be matted. That's kind of the whole point of this. Still need you though. Okay, so now it's just going to be a matter of blurring these a couple times. I think one more should do it. A bigger one. How's that? I think that looks pretty good. Let's turn these off. Yeah, so now we've got some problems on the base layer. Yeah, let's fix those first. One of the big problems is this. We have all of these random colors, and this is the very bottom layer, right? And it needs to be the right colors. Everything needs to be the color it should be, not all these random nonsense colors. So let's start turning them. That's that. That's also that. That's that too, believe it or not, since it's feathered, so you don't want to see the solid underneath. We can leave these because they'll be covered up. Cannot leave that though, because that will again be changed. Let's add these down here. And then just the last one is these two down here. Okay. So this should look good, except for the parts that are gonna stay solid. Oh, I just think this hand looks really cool with the multicolors like that. That looks good. Let's turn it off and see how we're looking. You see that, guys? You see that? That's looking pretty good. That's looking how it's supposed to. That's really looking how it's supposed to. Okay, let's do the face and the arm here. And then we'll go back and see what is to be. You know what? Now that I think about it, since this is already here, let's just make it have these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Crank this up to 7. Grab you. You. Wait, hold on. Okay, let's keep going. Wait, what? Okay. Jeez. We need 8. Okay. So this is all the hard outline areas. And the other thing we've got to put down here is a replace. Pixel replace. The name's replace. Pixel replace. So all of these should just be the regular color. Remember, we only changed the color so that we could key them out separately. They should not be that color. Okay. Wait. Great. That looks pretty good. And you'll remember... Shoot. These hand highlights are wrong again. I forgot about this up here. That's fine. We need to do this. I really don't want to change this. Can I? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Can I just copy this color key and put it in the other two? Wait, hold on. I can. I love that. Okay, hold on. Wow, you learn something new every day. Okay. What? Okay, well that's wrong. Hold on. Can I have this off, please? Where did the caution plug go? Why is this here? That's why it's here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Goodness gracious. I don't know how two were put on there. It's fine. Okay, let's copy this and put it there. And also there, and also there. So if we take this off, it should be blurring for all of them. Cool, 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 cool. That looks exactly how it should. Yeah, that looks exactly how it should. Sick. Wicked sick. Okay. Let's do this part of the skin. Okay. It will be a very similar process to these. So I'm just gonna duplicate them both. Let's work backwards. Let's start with the mat this time. So the mat here needs to be all of this pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Cool. And the parts that are glowing oops, wait, hold on. Let's do it with the actual ray layer. Let's take that off. Okay, so we're keeping those. Those are the colors we want to blur. We've already got the rest of it figured out. Then let's just mat it down here. Ah, doesn't that look cool? Okay. Take that off and bam. It's under there. It's there. It doesn't bleed wrong. It's got that problem that I mentioned where it kind of feathers by the edges, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. This is looking very close. Very, very close. Let's head back to here. Back in Clip Studio. And let's just check out our reference. It's very important to make sure we're staying in line with the reference. So this is what we're trying to make. This is what we're trying to make. And this is what it looks like. I might actually just bring this in here so we can see it. just in terms of the parts we have done. I would say that's looking pretty good. The yellow is a bit different. It's a bit subtler. But I think overall that's pretty good. Let me just... Let me just crank this down a little bit. That's the biggest thing I could notice that would be easily changeable. If I just lower that. Okay. We can't forget to do... Oh, and if you're wondering about the pixels, we will be slapping this on it afterwards. So it will be nice and aliased eventually. But for now, we need these because we need to be working with pixels. Okay. Let us do the face. And actually, I'm gonna duplicate these two again. Oops. It's getting a little bit confusing. What's where? Hold on. How about we do that, huh? Okay. Okay, so I'm actually gonna turn this off for now. Let's make the matte like we did last time. I think that worked pretty well. So we gotta keep you, and just a little bit in there. If this is a problem, I'm gonna be annoyed. I don't think it will be though. Okay, so this is what that looks pretty cool actually. That looks pretty arty. So we got that. Let's go back here and select the parts we want to feather. It'll be that, that, and that. Excuse me. Wait, where did that go? Huh? Hold on. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit confused. What's going on? Okay, you know what? Consider me baffled. I don't know why this isn't working here. I'm gonna delete this and grab another one. Do you work? the mat off you. Okay, I don't know what was going on with that other one. Okay, so this is the part we want to feather. And I believe that everything has been done for us already. Yep, that looks great. And now, if we just mat it there, that's the right shape. And now we need to put it underneath. That. Now don't that look good? Don't that look good? Okay. This is the reference. This is what we've got. Reference, got. Reference, got. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. We're at over an hour. That's usually where I end these things. I know we've been spending like a million years on just figuring out the compositing for this one part. I know we still have the eyes to do, and we still have the rest of the skin to do. We've got to do this part here. But thanks for bearing with me. We will soon get to actually animating it. We have to do all of the other frames in the sequence. Yeah, this is gonna look cool though. Should we take a look? Should we take a look at what it looks like now? Now I haven't shown this on stream really at all for maybe for a while, but this is what we're looking at so far. As it loads, of course. Yeah. Why is the colors wrong there? I'm gonna have to go figure that out. But this is most of the sequence. It's not all of it. There's some parts at the end that I haven't put into this version. But this is the flow of it. It goes with the music and everything. It's cool. I still have to animate that guy. All the backgrounds still have to be done. But for now, we're just focusing on one thing at a time. We got this looking pretty good. We still have the eyes to do. We still have the rest of the skin to do, and then we still have to animate it. Obviously, you can see. Do I really have... Who's left under there? Excuse me. Oh, I feel bad for the one all the way under there. What's going on here? I don't quite know how to free the yellow one underneath. That's okay. We'll do that. Here, I'll pop back here. So we've got to transition it from the first frame to the end frame of the sequence here, which means doing all of these. So we have to do this, we have to draw this for every single frame here. And that's what it means to make animation look like this. So I think that'll be that for now. We'll be back again soon. We'll keep going here. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Have a good rest of your day.